and welcome to our Trinity Stamps Kendra's Card Challenge Super Sponsor Collaboration Hop featuring Trinity Stamps. And I'm going to show you today how I made this little Happy New Year, Chinese Happy New Year card. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we go. What I have here is I made this little card, and I'm going to show you how I made it. And I put the little dragon on an action wobbler, and it's a pretty tall wobbler, so it really wobbles. So I'll be using the Trinity Stamps Collection Paper Pyrotechnics to create my background, and I'm going to use both Simon Hurley's Solar and Lunar paste, and then I'm going to use the dragon from the Dragon Dance stamp collection from Trinity Stamps as well, and the Happy New Year. And I'll also be using the coordinating dies that you can get. Then I'm going to be using sketch 14 here on Kendra's Card Challenge, and the little dragon is going to take the place of that little floral in the center. So let me tell you, we have a sign up down below. You can fill out the form, and in order to win, you've got to fill out the form and hop along with the rest of the hoppers, which I'll also have linked down below in a playlist, so that you have several chances to win a prize from our super sponsor Trinity Stamps. So here I've got a piece of red paper, and I'm going to show you just one of the fireworks, how they're done, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So these come in, there are 4 stencils, 4 layering stencils with 9 different designs to choose from. And for my lunar paste, I have this little tiny brush that I use for tiny stencils like this. So I'm selecting my stencil that I want to use. I'm going to use this center one here. And you can mask off other parts if you feel like you need to, and in some cases I did, and others I didn't. I'm just going to put a little bit of this Slippery When Wet lunar paste on my work mat. I'm going to get a little on my brush, and then I'm going to start off and fill in the little stars. Now, one trick that I can tell you is, rather than making a thick layer, do multiple small layers. It dries almost immediately, and it's better to just go over it several times than try and get it too thick and wait for it to dry. I mean, you could wait for it to dry, but it would take you all day to do a background like this, so it's better to have the thinner layers. And then, so I'm going to go in with the second layer here, just making sure all my stars are dry. And I'm going to match it up, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but these stencils are etched, so you can see where the last stencil went. And I'm just coming in and filling in this little star again with the Slippery When Wet lunar paste. Okay, so there's layer 2, and you just want to make sure, if you're using lunar paste, to clean off your stencil right away with some water. And then, so next, I'm going to come in with the layer 3 with some golden hour, which is kind of a more translucent kind of gold color. So it will pick up a little bit of the color from whatever's underneath, particularly if you have an inked panel. But the color of this is dependent on what the color of the background is. So you can see as I get it on my black mat, it kind of turns gold. But it's a different shade of gold, and that's what I'm after. I'm after some traditional Chinese New Year colors, which are the golds and reds. So there's layer 3, and then I'll go ahead and do layer 4. And see how quickly that dries. Yep, it's dry enough. So I'm going to go ahead and match up again. So sometimes you got to have this right over your head, or you got to have your head right over it to get it matched up. And then I'll go ahead and do another layer of the golden hour. And we'll be done with that one. And again, I'll do the rest of them off camera. So I'd like to thank our super sponsor, Trinity Stamps, for sending us all these goodies to work with. I hope that you will consider shopping with them, and particularly with their new collection. So there's one of my fireworks. I'll do the rest off camera. Okay, I've got my fireworks all done, and then I've got a gold sheet that I want to mat it on in gold. And then I have the strips, and I've cut 2 of them out of matte gold, and I've cut 2 of them out of the shiny gold. And I'm going to go ahead and lay my strips on so I can get those trimmed out. And I'm just going to use some regular Fairly Arts glue. I'm kind of eyeballing it. You can measure if you want to, but I'm not a big fan of measuring. Unless I absolutely have to, I'm not going to. I'm just going to kind of lay them down how they're pleasing to my eye, as closely matching the sketch as possible. Okay. So I hope that you'll visit everyone in this hop so you have different types of inspiration to work with these products and with Kendra's Card Challenge. And if you're not familiar with Kendra's Card Challenge, it's a quarterly challenge that Kendra has in her Facebook group, and I'll have that link down below. And she does a sketch of 15 cards, and you use 6 pieces of 6x6 paper, and with very little waste, and then regular coordinating cardstocks, and you make 15 cards. And if you take a photograph of all 15 cards all together, you can enter them to win lots of prizes. Kendra is super generous with her prizes. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my gold paper down, and I'm going to use a tape runner with this because I don't want any glue marks. Because this is some rather thin gold paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and lay that directly down onto a craft card base. And then there's a Rafflecopter link down below in the description box, and if you'll click that link, then you can enter to win the prize from our super sponsor. Okay, happy with that. We'll get our dragon done, and that's going to represent our little circle in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and with this red paper, I don't mind laying it directly onto the gold. And that is, that's a Simon Says stamp paper, Schoolhouse Red. It's my favorite red. So, I mean, red's red, right? Nope. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing this gold paper again, and I'm going to use some Stays-On ink. Now this, I struggle with, trust me on that, because it's a new stamp and it just wants to pull the paper up. So I am going to get that paper stuck down, taped down best I can, and try and get this in the corner so I don't double stamp. And I'm just going to do 2 or 3 layers of the Stays-On ink. I'm not going to color this or anything. Originally I did one and I colored it with alcohol markers, but alcohol markers are kind of funny on shiny paper. They leave a weird, I don't know how to even say it. They leave a weird blobbity blob. So I didn't want the blobbity blobs. I didn't think they looked good. So I decided to keep this just straight up gold. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out with the coordinating die. There's also a mask die, so you can cut a mask if you wanted to color around this dragon. Then I've cut 3 layers of craft cardstock and put them down below underneath so that he's kind of sturdy. And now I have him popped up on an action wobbler. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of gems here. I'm going to start with these clear gems from Trinity Stamps. And again, I'll have everything I use listed down below so that you can shop. I love these clear gems. They're a trip. You'd have to really see them up close to understand how they're different. So they're faceted, but they also have sparkly in them. So I'm going to add that to his eyes, and that glue will dry clear, and so then he'll just have sparkly black eyes. And then I'm going to use some of these beautiful little kind of honey-colored pearls, flatback pearls, for the centers of some of my fireworks, and my card will be done. Thanks a lot for coming and hanging out and spending your time with me watching my video. Please consider giving me a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I also have a membership. I keep all of my videos commercial free, and so I've started a membership drive, which is $1 a month. And there are some perks to membership, like seeing some videos early and so on. So I hope you consider joining, and don't forget to hop along. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.